Hey guys, hope everyone's well. Just a quick video update, really. Nothing too exciting, so don't sit down with a cup of tea because it won't be worth the effort. I'm off to Ireland tomorrow. I'm just getting my bike ready. I'm just going to take the Rayu 500 Aventura, which I've not really ridden in anger much since Spain last year. I was going to take the Marini 650, the Escape, but the MOT's due on that, so I thought it's a good opportunity to get this back out again. We've got a week in Ireland riding the Wide Atlantic Way. Unfortunately, we've had a break in the good weather. It's been a week of good sunshine in Ireland, and then while we're there, it's going to rain, and then when we leave, it's going to sunshine again. So it's always the luck of the draw with an Irish road trip. But Ireland's a fantastic place to ride a motorcycle, certainly in that southwest region. Obviously, the Wide Atlantic Way is giving people a bit of a signpost as to where to ride. It's not as holistic a route as the NC500. It's more of a suggestive route. There's off crops you can do and out to peninsulas that you don't need to do. So it's not as structured as the NC500, but it does give guidance as to where you might want to go. And for me, heading down to the bottom, Mizenhead, and then Healy Pass, Connor Pass, and all those passes pre-sleep, that's another fantastic one. So Ireland is. If you feel like you've ridden the UK, if you feel like you've ridden Europe, try Ireland, because I think it's got a lovely mixture of great landscape, great people, great accommodation. The weather can be hit and miss, but so can anywhere. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. And it's obviously budget conscious. It's not a fortune to get a ferry across, and then certainly if you're camping, it's not too expensive at all. So yeah, we are camping. So the camping gear is going to go on the back: tent, sleeping bag, roll mat. So that's going to sit there. I've got a tank bag, got first aid kit, and just odds and sods that I'm going to throw in there. And then these cinch bags, these alt rider cinch bags, which I've had for a while, they're just going to strap onto these front bars, these standard engine bars on there, a bit like I used to do with the Himalayan. I don't have any pannier rails for this, but I think the conclusion for the video is really don't overpack. Wherever you go, however you're traveling, try not to overpack, because all you're doing is making your bike heavier, and that's not what you want, not what you need. And I think there's nothing worse than realizing halfway through a trip that you've brought so much stuff that you're never going to need, but you're still going to carry it, and it starts to get a bit frustrating. So just try and strip down, so change your clothes, some evening wear, what else really, breakdown card. That's it really, you don't need too much. But the bike itself, I really, I like this Rayu. There was a Morbidelli, the new 1000cc, lined up for me to test, but I couldn't get it shipped across from Peterborough in time, which would have been interesting. But I think I would have come back to the same conclusion: do you need a 1000cc for going around Ireland? And the answer is no. 500cc, it's got enough grunt, it's got enough smoothness. This one's got a nice screen on it. It's got the 40 litre petrol tank, so it's probably only going to need one fill up all the way around Ireland, if that at all. It actually might do Ireland on one. No, not quite, but. You don't need a big bike for touring Ireland, and actually, with how tight and twisty the back roads are over there, I think something that you can manage quite easily is the best bike to have, in my opinion. Obviously we're all different. So yeah, we've got an early morning start, ferry across Fishguard to Rosslare. I go into Fishguard Rosslare for the fact that going into Dublin with a group, Dublin is it sends everyone off scattering in different directions, because there's a lot of traffic, a lot of turns. And so it's very easy to lose everyone. Whereas into Rosslare, you come out the port, you're straight into the countryside and the campsite. So it's a very easy place to land as a group, and it just takes that stress out, that first arrival, which can happen when you go into Dublin. We are sailing back out of Dublin, but by that point, there's a harmony descended on the group. So that's it. I'll do an update. The bike, the CF Moto. The prize bike I took that to Keith last night, dropped that off with him, so he's got that. After this, I've got Land's End John O'Groats with a big group, and then we've still got Montenegro, Spain, and Morocco later in this year. So it's all a busy year. I'm hoping to do a bit more videos on a few more bikes. So I've got a lot coming through my fingers, but not enough time to film and produce stuff. So yeah, motorcycling touring. It's not that complicated. It's not that difficult. It doesn't need that much preparation, certainly if you're one or two people. It's a bike, some basic equipment, going, just going. That's it really. Putting myself out of a job, I know that, but can't be in work forever, can we? So that's it. She's a handsome beast though, isn't she, I've got to say. So the Rayu, there's a Marini. The Rayu has come down in price. When it came out, it was 7.5, and a few dealers started doing it for 6.5 because I think obviously they didn't sell any because nobody knew about it, because nobody had been told about it, and it's a shame because we've got a launching built CB500X copied engine, or licensed copy, same as it's going in the Voyages and things like that. But we've got a 21-inch front wheel, tubeless spoke, 18-inch rear, tubeless spoke. We've got crash protection. We've got proper hangars, aluminium or steel. We've got the 20 litre tank here, 20 litre tank there. That's your knob to turn it from tank to tank, and then it's a different fuel pump. So that changes the flow. That knob down there is again. That knob changes the flow, and that changes the pump. So you got to do both in sync. So it's a well-equipped bike, centre stand, rear rack, and they put these down to 6,400 quid now, which I think at that price, had they come out at with a good push, they would have done quite well, because it's a nice bike, fully adjustable suspension. It's got all the kit on it that you'd hope that Honda would have built once upon a time, but obviously they never will. So it's a bit of an innovation, Spanish company, but it's a Chinese bike that they rebadge, and that's for a fact. There's people like saying, no, the Spanish re-engineer him and all this sort of nonsense, but no. I've got it quite categorically on file as being that they just buy them in from China, put a Rayu badge on it and ship them out the door, which is, if nothing else, evidence that the Chinese are starting to innovate and also produce a decent bike. It's not light when you've got 40 kilos of fuel on, but it rides well, it feels good, it's precise, it's smooth, it's well engineered. Will it last a long time? Who knows? $1 million question. But yeah, even got proper sump guard, everything you need to start travelling and doing a bit of trail. It's heavy for trail, but you could if you wanted to. Anyway, over and out. Sorry, Marini, next time. Good looking bike, that Marini. Just waiting on the 700. All right, cheers.